Right, welcome everyone to County for Old Cars, and today you join me in the beautiful market town of Stamford in Lincolnshire, and I'm on my way to Nottingham in Vitesse, my Mark 1 1967 Triumph Vitesse. So we'll make a start and see what the roads ahead of us have in store. Well, I can't say I know Stamford at all really, and I have been through it once or twice, but this is actually the first time I've ever filmed one of my drives, and it is quite a stunning town. You know, the architecture is just fantastic, and of course this sort of wonderful limestone. As it has to be said, if you think that Lincolnshire is all about the fens, you need to come here. This is, well, I suppose it's sort of reminiscent to some parts of the Cotswolds, and also in some ways some parts of Yorkshire. It's absolutely beautiful. So we're going to head for the A6121, which will sort of take us west of the A1 and hopefully towards Rutland. There's a lot to see. This little house in front of us with its jettied first floor, so it's stone ground floor and then timber framed upper floor with a little jetty. It's beautiful. It's Bank Holiday Monday morning, and there's a country fair at Burley House behind us, but otherwise very, very quiet. So I set off from Suffolk just before 9 o'clock this morning and took the A14 and A1 specifically actually so I could do this part of the route, because I usually like to sort of go to the east of Lincolnshire and come through Grantham or that way. But the A14 and A1 for once was pretty much free of roadworks, not too much traffic, and I have to say we spent most of the time just at 70 in lane 2, and I didn't film it because it's pretty boring, but some of the reactions I got to other traffic when I was overtaking them at at 70 miles an hour, the expression on one or two faces was absolutely priceless. I think people see, an old car and just assume that, we're going to be trundling at 50. I'm not sure if you just saw, but to our left, as we went past the lay-by, there were 3 very smart TVRs parked up. So I'm not sure if it's an informal gathering of friends or a local car meet. Well, Mark, I'm going to give this to you. So far, very pretty journey. Thank you very much for the suggestion. Beautiful countryside. We're kind of governed by speed limits here, but that's okay. I'm not in a rush today, and very nice Alfa Romeo just went past. Again, we've got a mixture of architectural style and ages. Looking at some of these buildings, they certainly look as though they go back to the 18th century and possibly even the 17th century, and then there are clearly Victorian and 1 or 2 Edwardian houses here. But it's all very neat. Sort of reminds me of some of the model villages that you used to get with model farmyards when I was a kid. Well, it was worth the diversion just to have a look at this wonderful dry stone wall. I'm not sure if it is dry stone. It may just be that the mortar is recessed, but it does look as though there isn't a mortar bed. So very interesting, right? So I think this promises to be some rural roads. It feels a little odd actually sort of giving you this commentary, because normally I take you on routes that I know pretty well myself, so coming on a road that we're discovering for the first time together is really quite interesting. I think this is our kind of roads, chaps. There was a technique I was taught when I first learned to drive, and it's always been useful to me on roads that I don't know, and particularly in older cars where you don't have the kind of braking power that you do with modern cars. But it's to do with corners and this set idea that if a corner is sort of coming to you and closing up, you know that you need to back off. But if a corner appears to be going away from you and opening up, as it were, you know, you can sort of put your foot down. And it seems obvious when you say it, but I don't know whether it's a technique that lots of people use, but it's one that I think about a lot when I'm driving the Triumphs. And it allows me to proceed without having to keep hitting the brakes. Right, let's have a look and see. Rutland Water South Shore. Right, okay. Here we go. Like now, the sort of distance of a corner feels pretty much the same as I go into it. So I can just sort of keep the speed on, and obviously it's opening up a bit now, so my speed can pick up. Put my foot down. Yeah, this is fantastic. Just the kind of road this car was made for. Right, corner coming into us, off the gas on the brakes, and then out again. And unlike the Mark II Vitesse, with this one you have to really set the car up for corners because of the swing axle rear suspension. So what I mean by that is you don't want to lift off mid-corner, because then the back wheels tuck under and you can lose a bit of traction. Right, so I can see Rutland Water off to my right. We might pop down and take a little look here. Normanton Cycle Hire. We get free exit within 15 minutes, so that's interesting. So we'll make sure we don't spend more than 15 minutes. We'll come down and have a little look at the South Shore. And yeah, one or two families obviously decided to come and take a break and have a picnic. It's not, I have to say, the weather for sort of barbecuing, but there's some brave souls here determined to have a go, and yeah, good for them. But yeah, let's have a look at the scenery here so you can see. Yeah. we're just going to try the north shore of Rutland water this time, and give you a kind of different perspective. Let's have a little look around and see what we can see from this side of the water.
Taking pictures, darling. Hold on. Eat a sandwich. Oh, you don't put it on the floor.
Right, I think it might be time to go and find some coffee and grab a sandwich. I've just pulled over to grab a cup of coffee, and also just give you a bit of a view of what's behind me. So if I just turn the camera around, you can kind of see just looking at the reservoir now, and yeah. It's a spectacular part of the country. So I hope you enjoyed today's little excursion through Lincolnshire and Rutland, and getting a chance to have a look at Stamford and some of the roads, or the back roads I should say, leading to the south shore of Rutland water. Once again, many thanks, Mark, for the suggestion. Beautiful roads, just as you said they would be, and I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.